Prime Minister Modi's mega announcements were welcomed by doctors and politicians across party lines. Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Chaturvedi, Aditya Thackeray are amongst the politicians hailing the decision to roll out vaccine for kids and much-awaited announcement on booster shots. With a caveat, though, they've gone ahead and said that they were the ones who forced the government to implement the booster decision based on their individual suggestions, and they have been making these suggestions for a while now. Congress MP Rahul Gandhi led the credit war, tweeted that centre finally accepted a suggestion, and boosters, doctors, top medical bodies welcomed the move. The IMA welcomed the announcement on vaccines for kids and boosters. The IMA called for adequate cooperation of parents, doctors and the government.
करोड़ 50 लाख लोगों को जो 18 साल की आयु से बड़े हैं, उन्हें मोदी सरकार ने अभी तक कोरोना का वैक्सीन का दूसरा डोज नहीं लगाया। 11 करोड़ 45 लाख जिन्हें 2 डोज लगने हैं, ये कुल डोज बनते हैं 59.40 करोड़ या लगभग 60 करोड़ डोज के 17.74 करोड़ डोजेज ही उपलब्ध हैं। ये मैं नहीं कह रहा, ये मोदी सरकार का आंकड़ा है। 18 करोड़ मान लीजिए, चाहिए 60 करोड़, हैं 18 करोड़। तो भैया वो बाकी के जो बचे 41.5 करोड़ डोज वैक्सीन के, वो कब आएंगे, कहां से आएंगे और कब उपलब्ध करवाएंगे?
महाराष्ट्र सरकार की तरफ से हमने रखी थी, वो मांगे पूरी हुई है। निश्चित तौर पर खुशी है और मुझे उम्मीद है कि आज जो ओमिक्रॉन बढ़ रहा है, उस बढ़ने का जो संख्या जो बढ़ रही है, तो उसमें इस टीकाकरण का निश्चित तौर पर फायदा होगा और लोग सुरक्षित रह सकेंगे।
Shreya is now joining us live for the very latest. Shreya, walk our viewers through the latest announcements that have been made as far as the booster doses are concerned and the vaccination of children is concerned outside of the political bickering that is going on.
Well, yes, Chetty, yesterday we saw the Prime Minister announce that mega vaccine push where the children between the age bracket of 15 to 18 will be given vaccines from the 3rd of January. From the 10th of January onwards, frontline workers, health workers as well as 60 plus people with comorbidities will also be able to get the precautionary dose, which is the third jab vaccines, which is also being called the booster dose. Now, on the political front, what we're seeing right now is a credit war that's broken after the PM's announcement. We've seen people from across political parties, from the likes of Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Chaturvedi to Mahua Moitra. They all claimed credit for the Prime Minister's announcement. They've said that it's only after them saying that booster doses should be allowed by the government that this announcement come. But also one point that needs to be mentioned, that across party lines, this announcement has been hailed by all political figures.
That's right. Thanks so much for joining us with the latest details. A late night announcement in the form of Christmas gifts to the nation. The Prime Minister announced a series of moves to boost India's fight against Omicron super threat and the variant. Here's all you need to know. Mega boost to fight against Omicron with super mutant cases continuously peaking. Prime Minister Modi says enough is enough.
2022
Prime Minister announces boosters and vaccines for kids and Christmas address to the nation. Frontline workers to get booster shots from 10th of January. Comorbids above 60 to be jabbed in first phase of booster drive.
8 वर्ष से ऊपर की आयु के कोमॉर्बिडिटी वाले नागरिकों को उनके डॉक्टर की सलाह पर वैक्सीन की प्रिकॉशन डोज का विकल्प उनके लिए उपलब्ध होगा। ये भी 10 जनवरी से प्रारंभ होगा।
Prime Minister's booster rollout silences the long-standing demand for booster shots to combat the super mutant variant.
Giving booster doses to people who are vulnerable, because again, I think it's very well thought out that it's only the elderly who really are at risk in terms of the Omicron virus. And I think giving them an extra shot is always going to help.
Prime Minister also announced vaccination for kids between 15 and 18 years of age from Jan 3rd.
15 साल से 18 साल की आयु के बीच के जो बच्चे हैं, अब उनके लिए देश में वैक्सीनेशन प्रारंभ होगा। 2022 में 3 जनवरी को सोमवार के दिन से इसकी शुरुआत की जाएगी।
This announcement comes moments after DCGI approved emergency use of Covaxin for children, a 2-dose jab.
The best Christmas present we could expect, because we have been actually concerned about the children being unprotected. And the fact that this data that was presented or approved by the scientific committee some weeks ago was with DCGI, who's taken its time to really study the data and put it through the rigors of scientific evaluation. And now that it has been approved for emergency use, which is the normal way of doing it, like it happened for the adults also, it's a big relief.
India will also roll out nasal and DNA vaccines soon.
हमारे देश में जल्दी ही नेजल वैक्सीन और दुनिया की पहली डीएनए वैक्सीन भी शुरू होगी।
From increased number of beds to ample supply of oxygen, the country is on a war footing to tackle the surge.
भारत ने अपनी स्थिति परिस्थिति के अनुसार भारत के वैज्ञानिकों के सुझाव पर ही अपने निर्णय लिए हैं। भारत के वैज्ञानिक भी इस पर पूरी बारीकी से नजर रखे हुए हैं, इस पर काम कर रहे हैं।
The new year will begin with a bang, with the Prime Minister declaring an all-out war against the Omicron surge.
Who will get which booster? Will the double co-vaccinated have to take Covaxin, or whether Covaxin takers will go for Covishield? How much amount of dose will the precautionary dose be? And whether it will be free for those above the age of 60 with comorbidities? These are some of the questions that will require clarity before the big rollout begins in January 2022. Milan Sharma for India Today.
Doctors across the country hailed the move by Prime Minister. Here is what they said. What is your sense in terms of the gap that one needs to keep between the last dose taken of COVID vaccine, whether Covaxin or Covishield, and then going ahead for the booster? I'm guessing in this particular case, it will just be an extension of the existing vaccines that we've taken.
Yeah, so the entire science behind the boosters is that initially the Delta, and then now, of course, the Omicron has decreased the immunity, what we call as vaccine escape. And the reason is the particular positioning and the type of substitutions, mutations which have taken place in the Omicron have actually made those sites where the antibodies act redundant for the action. So the vaccines, what we produce as response antibodies don't work as well against the virus. Now, what we are looking at internationally is there is a series of more than 80 or 90 international publications which have shown that the immunity post-vaccination, that means post the second dose, decreases between the 5th and the 7th month. And then the people become more vulnerable. So the breakthrough infection rate is slightly higher after that. There are 2 or 3 recent studies. One is from Rockefeller University, in which the vaccines have shown to increase the neutralizing antibodies 30 to 200 times more. There is also a recent study of Lancet, which has been done on 44 million patients in Scotland and Brazil, which has shown that the risk increases if you don't give the third dose. Also, an 8-platform comparison in Lancet, which has shown the vaccine efficacy to be diminishing, including the AstraZeneca. So the basis of this is thus, and the third dose is required. Any time between the 5th and the 7th month after your second dose, the Prime Minister, sir, has already mentioned that in early part of January coming year, we will start the third shot. What he's used very beautifully is a precautionary dose, and it's to actually give a message to the Indian community that your first 2 doses have worked. This is more a precaution to allay the fears that the first 2 vaccines didn't work. They have worked and they have worked very well.
I want to get your sense on vaccination amongst kids. This has been an ongoing topic ever since adults started getting vaccinated. And every second parent you encounter is always questioning when my child is going to get vaccinated. Should I or should I not vaccinate children? Finally, with this announcement that has come in, what is your take?
Absolutely. It's a very, very welcoming step and a very relieving step as well for parents, for kids, especially, for the ones who were going out right now. It was the 15 and to the 18 years age group, which was actually, going out for their board exams, for their various kind of practicals, their schools and all. So they were the group which was actually exposed to the virus right now. And therefore, every parent was worried, as to how they are going to proceed further. And especially because this is a career time for them as well. So the concerns were even more concerning these kids especially. So I think it is a very, very welcome step that we are going to start vaccination for these kids. And if you look at US, UK and most of the other countries, they have already started vaccinating the kids. And in fact, they are giving booster doses now. So it's very appropriate time. Till now, we were more concerned with giving vaccines to the adult population and covering as much as we can. But now since Omicron, is kind of heading towards us and the numbers have started increasing in India as well. So we have to be prepared. And that is what I think the government has decided, that the children from age
Are we, Dr. Maheshwari, late in the day as far as the race to vaccinate kids is concerned? Because there are countries around the world who have already finished vaccinating their children. We're not even begun. We've just made the announcement.
I don't think we are too late because, see, every country has different situations right now. One, we are a very huge country and our population is very large. In terms of what we are talking about, US and UK, they are like 1/8, 1/5 of our population. The other thing is that we already had gone through the Delta surge and a lot of infection and sub-infections had happened in children. They were, kind of exposed. There was a lot of natural immunity, and that was suggestive by the sero surveys that we did across the country, which was very suggestive that children also have got exposed to the virus and they have some natural immunity in themselves. And secondly, understand that US and UK were dealing with the surge now. So they were dealing with Delta surge and then Omicron also topped on that. So they are seeing the double and the twin surges that they are seeing right now. Whereas India had already finished up with Delta.
As COVID cases see an uptick across the country, several states have tightened the noose to mitigate the spread of the virus during the festive season. Maharashtra government has issued new guidelines amidst the Omicron surge. The state government announced night curfew. Gathering of over 5 people in public places across the state is prohibited from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. 50% capacity for gyms, spa, hotels, theatre, cinema has been announced. Night curfew also returns in UP between 11 p.m. and 5 a.m. The cap on the number of people attending events like marriage has been limited to 200. COVID curbs have been extended till 31st of December in the national capital. Ban to continue on social and cultural gatherings. No New Year Eve parties in Delhi this year. Karnataka has also issued new norms. Night curfew has been announced for 10 days starting 28th of December. Mass public gatherings, celebrations have been banned. Haryana, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat have imposed night curfew. Tamil Nadu made 7-day quarantine mandatory for foreign passengers and an RT-PCR test on the 8th day. 422 cases of Omicron variant have been reported across 17 states in India and 130 people have recovered, according to the Health Ministry.
A very, very welcome announcement. We thank Honorable Prime Minister for announcing this. Honorable CM had already told that we should be in the forefront because already in regular vaccination in the first 4 months, Tamil Nadu showed maximum vaccine hesitancy. Similarly, we have identified 33.2 lakh students 15 to 18 years who have to be vaccinated. All those who are very active in public life have taken. They are seeking booster dose. So this announcement is also very useful for them because they are desperate to take that additional dose.
With the concerning increase in case of Omicron in the state, the Chief Minister has initiated a kind of going to various locations to find out exactly what is happening on the situation. And here we are currently inside the COVID war room. There you could see the Chief Minister who is going around and he's seeing various panels which are showing exactly what is happening and and the state, and he's also interacting with various officials in the COVID war room. In Tamil Nadu so far, officially 34 cases have been reported. However, there are a certain number of clusters of which several have shown S-drop gene, which is an indicator of Omicron, but the final result will be only provided after the exact test of whole genomic sequencing will be done. That's the reason there is a delay. However, you could see the Chief Minister is currently looking at one of the monitors which is showing exactly how many beds are available, how many oxygen beds, the availability of oxygen cylinders and various other things across the state. This is like a dashboard which is being explained to the Chief Minister. The Health Minister is also present at this location. The Health Minister has also announced that as of now, all passengers from foreign countries will have to undergo a mandatory 7 days home quarantine, and if they are from at-risk countries, they will go through RT-PCR test there itself, and if they test positive, they'll be taken to the hospital, and if they test negative also, they have to be in home quarantine. No-risk countries, earlier only 2% sampling were done. That has been increased to 10% as well. That's the Chief Minister inside the war room who's taking a stock of the situation. With Vijay's Madan, Pramod Madhav for India Today.
The festive season is on throughout the world and everyone is celebrating, but something that we cannot forget is that COVID cases are also rising. 7 cases of Omicron have been reported in West Bengal. 6 of them are stable. 1 has been de-infected. However, as multiple states and cities are coming up with restrictions and night curfews, West Bengal government has completely gone away with the night curfew for the last 1 week of the festive season. And right now, we are here in front of the Alipur Zoo, and it is one of the oldest zoological gardens in the world. What we can see over here, the situation looks a bit frightening because social distancing is something that cannot be seen over here, and there's a huge crowd that has come over here. The visual that we are seeing right now are of an overbridge where everything is being seen apart from social distancing at a time when everyone claims for the need to have a social distancing measures. That is something that is not being seen, at least in front of us right now. As stated, there is no night curfew for the last 1 week of the festive season in West Bengal, and 7 cases of Omicron have been reported so far, wherein 1 has been cured and 6 are stable. With camera person Shamsundar Ghosh, Saryagni Roy, India Today, Kolkata.
Big twist in Punjab politics ahead of State Assembly polls 22 Punjab farmer unions have announced the formation of Samyukt Samaj Morcha party. The farmers have announced that their political front will contest in all 117 seats in the elections, opposing the move. The Samyukt Kisan Morcha has distanced itself from the Punjab Farmer Union's move. SKM leaders, in a statement, said that they will chair a meeting on 15th of January to decide whether these 22 unions can continue to be a part of the Morcha or not. The farm body also warned against using its name for electioneering. Meanwhile, Congress MP Ravneet Singh Bittu attacked the farmer unions for forming a political party. The Congress Neta has said the move is for personal benefit and questioned why these unions left their fight for nationwide MSP for Punjab polls. He further took a jab at Arvind Kejriwal, saying Anna Hazare was used and thrown by a common man to become the Chief Minister of Delhi. Similar fate awaits these leaders too.
Assembly हल्के तो चाहे कोई शतराने चो जित के चले जाए, चाहे समाने चो, चाहे पटियाले तो, वो MLA जाके MSP नहीं दवा सकता, ना हो ਸਾਡੇ ਕਰਜ਼ਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਲੀਕ ਮਰਵਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਨੇ। ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਜਥੇਬੰਦੀਆਂ ਇਲੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਵੱਲ ਮੂੰਹ ਕਰ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਮੇਰੀ ਤਾਂ ਅਪੀਲ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਲੋਕ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਤੇ ਪ੍ਰੈਸ਼ਰ ਪਾਉਣ ਕਿ ਆਪਣੇ ਸੰਯੁਕਤ ਕਿਸਾਨ ਮੋਰਚੇ ਨੂੰ ਇਕਜੁੱਟ ਰੱਖੋ ਅਤੇ ਦੇਸ਼ ਦੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਮੇਵਾਰੀ ਲਾਈ ਹੈ ਸਾਡੇ ਤੇ ਕਿ MSP ਤੇ ਕਰਜ਼ੇ ਦੀ ਲੜਾਈ ਲੜੋ, वो लड़ाई अगे असी लड़ सकिए।
एक किसान कोई मूर्ख लोग है कि पॉलिटिक्स में नहीं होना चाहिए, उनको सभी को होना चाहिए। कल मुल्लापुर में 32 जथेबंदी की मीटिंग हुई है, उसमें जनानी मसली पास हुआ कि कोई इलेक्शन लड़ना चाहे लड़े, कोई विरोध नहीं, कोई इलेक्शन ना लड़ना चाहे कोई विरोध नहीं, मगर 32 जथेबंदियाँ इकट्ठी रहेंगी एजुटेशन के लिए।
आज जो पंजाब के हालात हैं वो बिल्कुल हमको सोचने पे मजबूर कर रहे हैं। पंजाब के ऊपर 3 लाख करोड़ का कर्जा चढ़ गया। इन जो रवायती पार्टियां थी, इन पार्टियों ने आज तक पंजाब का कुछ भला नहीं किया। तो पंजाब वाले लोग अब चाहते हैं कि कोई तीसरा फ्रंट आए, कोई तीसरी पार्टी आए, या तीसरा कोई लोग उठें जो इन लोगों से हटकर हों, जो सच की राजनीति करें, जो करप्ट ना हो, तो पंजाब का भला हो।
It's a wrap from me, Chaiti Narula, on this bulletin. For further news and updates, don't forget to log on to indiatoday.in or download our app.